What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to go over the data mines and leaks that came out with today's patch. I'm super excited to jump into it. This is going to be the leaks for the new cards within the February season. So February 2024. Let's jump straight into it. As you can see from the image, the theme for this season pass is going to be the Black Order. If you guys are unfamiliar with the group known as the Black Order, they're basically kind of like Thanos' gang or Thanos' crew. They were heavily featured within Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. They include Ebony Maw, who's of course is already in the game. We have like CORVUS, GLAIVE, PROXIMA Midnight, CULL, OBSIDIAN, and we have some other members that weren't as well known within the movies. So yeah, let's jump straight into these cards. As you can see, first of all, we have the image here. Absolutely amazing. Black Swan is going to be the season pass card. We have some amazing avatars. We have the really nice Death variant alongside an amazing Ebony Maw variant. So yeah, jumping straight into Black Swan. Black Swan is a 2 energy, 3 power card, and she reads, on reveal, until the end of next turn, your 1 cost cards cost 0. Initial impressions of this card, I think it's very, very powerful. As per usual with the season pass cards, they tend to be releasing in a very powerful state. Best examples are, of course, Loki and Miss Marvel. But I think Black Swan, you know, any card that can reduce mana or reduce energy is very, very powerful. Speaking of Loki, I think Black Swan could actually really fit into Loki Werewolf by Night decks, which are like one of the best decks in the meta at the moment. Obviously, the meta is going to drastically change over the next 2 to 3 months, but yeah, if you put Black Swan into that deck, I think it makes sense because alongside cards with like Falcon and Beast, right, you're consistently bouncing 1 cost cards back to your hand, wanting to replay them. So if you have any energy reduction to just play them even easier, I think it makes sense. But of course, Black Swan probably makes most sense in a Thanos deck because you have a lot of 1-drops, and of course she's a part of the Black Order, which is Thanos' crew. So overall, I'm super excited about this card. Power level wise, I think it's going to be interesting. I know there was the other card that we saw from the January season pass, which is like Sierra or Kiera or something like that, and that card reads, it's like ongoing, your 1-cost cards can't be destroyed. So if you pair that card with this card in a Thanos deck, you know, no Killmonger to answer the 1-drops. I think it's going to be a very, very powerful combo. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments below about this card. Do you think it's super powerful? Do you think it's maybe a little bit underpowered? I think it's going to be really, really good. Next card that we have is CORVUS GLAIVE. He's a 3 energy, 4 power card. He reads, on reveal, discard 2 cards from your hand to get +1 max energy. Now, you guys know me. I'm a huge, huge fan of ramp. However, this card is super interesting because I feel like I'd have to play it in a specific type of ramp deck, right? It's very different from a card like Electro, which is also a 3-cost card, because you want to be playing this card in a deck that synergizes with discarding cards, right? So there's not many combos that I can think that like come to mind right now, since I'm not a huge discard enjoyer, besides when it comes to like Hela decks. So maybe this actually will work out in Hela, right? Because if you just discard 2 cards that aren't Hela in your hand already, if they're big cards, you're ramping to get Hela out faster. And at the moment, that's what I've been doing within Hela Tribunal, is using Electro to kind of play your Hela underneath your Invisible Woman on turn 5, and then just Modocking outside of the Invisible Woman lane to get your whole kind of Hela Modoc combo off. This also just works really well against a card like Alioth. I know Alioth did get changed in today's patch. It's not a major change though, but having that +1 max energy to basically play your key combo card, which is Hela, before they can Alioth it, before they can like quote-unquote disrupt it, I think is really powerful. So yeah, I think CORVUS GLAIVE, I think I'll definitely be trying him out within some sort of Hela build. Honestly, he probably fits pretty well into just general discard, because like if you want to be discarding your cards anyways, and the benefit is you just get +1 max energy, that's pretty good, honestly. So yeah, as I said, personally, I'll probably be trying this card out in Hela. If you guys have any decks or ideas that you think this card works really well with, please let me know. The next card that we have is Proxima Midnight. She is a 4 energy, 6 power card. She reads, when this is discarded, this card jumps to your lowest power location that isn't full. So, I mean, yeah, I would probably put this in a Hela deck. I don't know if I'd put this in the huge Hela Tribunal decks, but this just seems like a good card. This seems like a better Black Cat in almost every way. I know it's a 4-6 rather than a 4-9, and the benefit of Black Cat is, okay, if it just gets discarded anyways, then, you know, it's going to get brought back with cards like Hela. But I'm assuming Proxima Midnight works like all of the other cards, that when they get discarded, and it comes into play, like it jumps to your lowest power location, it doesn't get included within the discard pool. So maybe you don't play this in a Hela deck because you're not going to be bringing Proxima Midnight back. As soon as she's discarded, she'll just jump onto the board. So you probably play this card in a more traditional list, maybe in like, you know, Lockjaw, discard. But yeah, someone in my chat pointed out earlier, it's really interesting that we've had 2 cards now that seem to be interacting, or like they're kind of more synergistic with the discard archetype rather than Thanos himself. So, I mean, I think it's cool. I think we want to have different cards that do different things. If we got like 4 or 5 new cards that all just made Thanos incredibly powerful, I think that would be pretty bad. So yeah, I'm excited. And I always love trying to give Discard a bit of a boost. Discard is after suffering a great loss today with the change of Chavez from a 6/9 down to like a 2/3. And I'm actually going to put an image up now. It's interesting with the new Smart Deck Builder or Auto Deck Builder feature. If you actually just press make my deck for me with no cards, it will give you a discard deck with Chavez included, because obviously it's a Smart Deck Builder. It uses the data that's given to it previously from, like, you know, other seasons and previous games before the card was changed. So I hope that they fix that soon. If they can't fix it, it'll probably just have to take a while for the decks and the cards to become more meta, basically, and like actually rework themselves and not give cards that no longer work in supported archetypes. So yeah, it's nice to see Discard get more love because I think it really, really needs it right now. Moving on to the next card, we have CULL Obsidian. He's a 4 energy, 10 power card. This is a stat line that is really common in Marvel Snap at the moment, right? You've got like 410, Atuma, you've got 410, Sentry, and Sentry is probably one of the best cards in the game at the moment, especially with the, you know, addition of Annihilus last season. But yeah, CULL Obsidian here is the 4 energy, 10 power card. He reads, you can only play this at a location with an Infinity Stone ongoing, cannot be destroyed. This is very, very, very powerful. I'm a big fan of this card. I think it's just like an auto slot into Thanos. Thanos decks, like previous Thanos decks, you have like a lot of ongoing stuff anyways. So I feel like, you know, if you want to do Thanos Spectrum stuff and you just include CULL Obsidian anyways, I think that works really, really well. And with it being just a single Infinity Stone, you know, this is nearly a 410 with no downside. Other things you can do, actually, yeah, I guess, like, you know, other combos you can do with this card is, I guess it can be like a Dracula target. If you can pull it out of your hands like some way, I guess it's good. If it gets leeched, you can play it, but you can't zero it, right? So like you pretty much have to be playing a Thanos deck. I don't think you're ever playing CULL Obsidian in a deck besides Thanos, like I said, unless it's some Dracula discard deck or Hela discard deck. Maybe you play him in a Black Knight deck, honestly, because Black Knight, the Ebony Blade received a really cool buff. So I'm trying to make this card work outside of Thanos, but I think you just play it in Thanos and it just can't be destroyed, which is absolutely ridiculous. The final new card that we have within the February season of next year is Supergiant. Supergiant is a 1 energy, 2 power card. She reads, on reveal, all cards played this turn and next turn don't reveal until the game ends. So this is kind of like Lemuria within a card. I really like it. I think it's super, super cool. Cards like this can definitely break the game. They can definitely break the game in terms of, you know, if you play this and you already have priority and, you know, for, let's say for turn 5 and turn 6, no cards are getting revealed. If you're playing a deck that has like Goliath, then Goliath is always going to proc realistically. If you have priority, of course, with the change. Yeah, my brain kind of hurts thinking about some crazy combos you can do with this card. So you guys, please educate me on some crazy things that you can do with this card. But overall, it seems really cool. This card is super good with just Atuma, right? You just play this with Atuma now because the previous combo was Invisible Woman Atuma. So now if you just play this card, all cards played this turn and next turn don't reveal until the game ends. When the game ends, then Atuma's not going to destroy himself, right? So this is a card you can just slot into that deck. And I was a big Atuma enjoyer. Unfortunately, I have not played the card too much. So that's one obvious combo I can think of. You could play this also with Ebony Maw. And that's actually probably where the synergy comes in, right? Because it's Supergiant, Ebony Maw, both part of the Black Order. But the thing with Ebony Maw is you have to play that on before turn 4, essentially. So you play this on turn 3, then turn 4 doesn't get revealed. Then turn 5, I suppose, then you can still keep playing cards behind it. It's probably not too bad, but maybe Invisible Woman is just better. The benefit of this card against Invisible Woman is it's all cards played this turn and next turn don't reveal until the game ends. And it's all cards. This affects your opponent's cards as well, pretty much, right? I'm assuming if you have priority, it means that your opponent's cards on this turn won't get revealed and on the next turn. So another huge, like, you know, deck or card that really wants to have priority, I feel like going into a match or you know, as the game flows. So yeah, that's all the new cards, guys. As per usual, please take these leaks with a grain of salt. These cards can change drastically Of course, when cards do change within Datamines, like the leakers update us anyways. Like for example, Sebastian Shaw, who's coming out today, got changed from a 3-3 to a 3-4. So, you know, these effects will probably stay, but again, just keep updated with like Snap.fan and all of these resources and sites to stay updated with all of the changes, if any do come. We also have 2 brand new locations that have been leaked within this Datamine. The first one is Sanctuary 2, which reads, add a random Infinity Stone to your hand. This seems like a really powerful location, honestly, and probably why they changed Mind Stone. Not the only reason why they changed Mind Stone within today's patch. Yeah, Mind Stone now only draws you 2 1-cost cards rather than 2 Infinity Stones, because yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense. If you just get Mind Stone off of Sanctuary 2 and you're not playing Thanos, it feels really bad. The next new location is Black Vortex, which reads, the first card you play here becomes a random 6-cost card. That is incredibly powerful. Imagine just playing like a 1-drop and it becomes an infinite. That's absolutely insane. Very excited to experiment with that location when it comes out. We can also see the new card backs for this season, which is going to be Mistress Death, Infinite Mistress Death, and the Infinity Gauntlet. I think these card backs are absolutely sick. I will 100% be rocking that Infinity Gauntlet. That is super, super cool. So yeah, that's all the leaks for February 2024. Super, super excited for the new season. But for now, I'm going to jump into the December season Hellfire Gala and experiment with Sebastian Shaw. Stay tuned to the channel because a video for that card will be up very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.